So we are coming actually close to the end of day 0, I guess. And we are going to now go see Kings of Leon. It is pretty cold out, it's very blustery, so we've had to wrap up warm. I got a new hat, pretty hype, and I'll put together a montage of clips of stuff that we did today because I didn't really pre-film anything. So this is Tommy, he's here with me. He'll be about for a lot of this, so enjoy. We're now just going past the Hamilton Strait, so yeah, I'll take some videos from Kings of Leon and we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know what we eat, what we get up to, and rate some food. I'm sure that's of interest. Yeah, I love food content, so yeah, see you soon.
Digital manufacturing centre is great. Silverstone in this area is.
So we have been staying at the Ridings, which is a glamping package. You'll see my hand. I gesticulate a lot. And it's been a really good accommodation so far. Obviously we haven't slept yet, so I will review that more in the morning. But they say luxury toilets. I would probably claim that it's more like a luxury portaloo. So don't get your hopes too high.
Into the deep end with that.
Yeah, on that, but they're still good. Although in like typical portaloo fashion, sometimes the taps are a bit temperamental, and you only get cold water. So that's you know, interesting.
Yeah, there was an outside like tap bit that was especially cold.
Yeah.
Not enjoyable, but still very handy.
So it's nice. I do have some videos of what's included in those shower and bathroom areas, so I will showcase them at some point as well. So yeah, it's okay. The tent's quite warm, which is good, especially because it's so cold.
It's pretty well insulated.
Yeah, it's well insulated.
It's like for like 6 months.
Yeah, so there's only 4 of us actually in our tent, but we have 6 beds, so if we find anyone homeless in the streets, we'll sure to let them in. Maybe not.
On the
No.
streets of the Silverstone circuit,
Yeah.
totally exist.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's very like fashionable, I'd say. Very like minimalist, artsy. So it is nice. But I will review the bed at some point and how warm it is overnight, because that's a big thing. I do have fluffy pajamas though, so hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. So you have these little like makeup stations that have a like air, like one of those like basically like a Dyson kind of hairdryer with all the attachments. You have a pair of hair straighteners as well, so you can curl, diffuse or straighten your hair. And these are the showers. They seem to be cleaned pretty regularly. And you have like a little hook space, and then this is like a dry area that goes into the shower. So I think they're really good. Then you have a water point over there where Tommy is, and then you have basically your glorified portaloos. So there you go, that's the campsite. So there are plenty of places to eat sort of heading into the concert area. There's a lot. Tommy would like to point out that there is a Ferris wheel in the distance. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of merch. merch is expensive. I feel like we expected that,
Really expensive.
but like I've been a K-pop fan for a long time, and I really didn't expect merch to cost like a jumper to be over £100. That's kind of wild, but you know,
Sport baby, isn't it?
you know what? It's a money-made sport, so these things are gonna happen. There is a bus with fudge. I love that. But yeah, more food options. Tommy, he's not a food option. Wouldn't recommend.
Cool.
There are bins located like everywhere. There's 3 in this general area. But here you have some merch stalls. These are the specific ones for each team, which are quite nice. They have a lot going on. I went to this Mercedes store earlier, and they were really friendly, although they didn't have my size for a jumper, which is fine, you know. Dealt with it. And then McLaren, and basically all the UK-based teams. I haven't really seen one for Ferrari or any of the other teams, but that's something that...
Understandably, Ferrari like they have Ferrari merch in like the joint ones.
Basically, yeah.
Some like just combine their fun merch.
So, if you want Ferrari merch or Red Bull, you'll have to go into the mega store where they have all the teams. But if you like any of the British teams, they will have their own little spaces about, and they're everywhere. Yeah. So opposite these stalls is the info point. If you have any questions, it is shut at, what's the time?
About 8:10.
Oh, it's about 8:10, so don't have questions after 8 PM, I guess. But that's fine. I'm not staying at the ridings. Here's some breakfast options. I won't be trying them out, but it's good to know they're here. And this is all in the same kind of like pub space. It's opposite the nightclub place, which
I think
is...
it's a nightclub. They're doing like pre-sales for tickets and stuff, so presumably that would be the nightclub.
So if you're into that clubbing scene, it's there. And if you want breakfast when you've finished, down here.
Also still walking around like the track kind of.
Yeah.
But these stands are still seats.
I think you kind of forget how big like these tracks actually are when you watch them on TV so often.
Silverstone's quite big one.
Like Silverstone is huge, and big map. Not to scale. One thing that we noticed was coming through like that Hamilton Straight area, a lot of the merch and all the food places are shut, but when you enter the main stage area they are all still open. Yeah, and now we're heading up some stairs to go get in that atmosphere. I have some Loop earbuds in because 4 days of racing cars and concerts will affect your eardrums. So I'm very much team I would like to be able to hear when I'm 90, so and it's quite loud if you couldn't tell. Jack Daniels has a little McLaren car out. How fun is that? Yeah, let's take a moment for the McLaren jacket.
Oh yeah.
So the main stage is in the left, and then where the first aid is next to it is the British Sign Language information point. So if that's something that you need, note that it's over there. I'm not sure if it'll be there next year, but I assume they wouldn't change it that often. Don't fix things over broke, you know? Good morning. It is Friday, the 5th of July. It is a very gloomy morning and my hair is so bad, but we are heading to the toilets and like shower area and got everything to get ready for the day. It's very quiet out. Last night there was a lot of people talking like 3 a.m. Which did wake me up, but it's okay. We are here on pure vibes. I didn't really expect this to be a well-rested weekend, so yeah. Excited for today. We've got a lot going on. There's a lot of practices and qualifyings for Formula 2 and 3, so we're gonna go to them and we'll let you know how it goes. Yay! We are now heading to breakfast to review the sleeping situation. Beds are really comfy, but I would probably say beware that noise will be going on for a long time. So where the riding is located, you get music from 2 different locations, and you can hear both at the same time, and it's pretty jarring and very loud. So if you're quite a light sleeper and really struggle with noise, I guess this isn't really like the place you go, but I don't know if you do that anyways. And then I'd probably say people walking by late at night. Remember, people are having a little happy time, so they will come back a little bit merry, and you might be waking up to some very drunk shouting or people forgetting their hotel or their room numbers, so good luck with that.
Driver who are in the same campus team, neither of them have yet set times, so they're both for pits.
The wing and find out whether Bob is there overseeing all of this. Well, of course. Excellent. What are we anticipating out of this session? It's already been a little bit of a surprise, to my eyes at least, that so many have done this so soon. The teams at the bottom end of the Constructors' Championship would go out first, and the star teams would wait and wait and wait. But it's a busy track very soon.
Yes, very well.
So we've just finished watching first practice for the F1, and we're now heading back to our tent to charge Tommy's phone and also just like rest for a bit, because we've got Stormzy later and we would like to see Stormzy. And we might potentially go to the nightclub and check that out, but that's undecided. It depends on the weather really for that one. And we've got a pretty packed afternoon. We've got F3 qualies, F2, and then practice 2. So we've got a lot going on. So yeah, we'll, you know, record some more content, show you as we go. It is busy today. That is something I will know. A lot more people about, but that's expected. It's an actual like race day. As yesterday was kind of like a day 0, I guess. So be prepared to walk through crowds. But no, it's a pretty good energy at the moment. Everyone seems pretty hyped. Yeah, good times. We also stayed on the Hamilton Straight for practice, and it was really good view. We were just outside of, where were we? Which garage were we in front of?
Which garage? Alpine.
Yeah, so we were close to that, so we got to see all the action.
The Alpine, Red Bull, Mercedes.
Yeah, which was great. Yeah, which was quite fun. Saw Oscar not come into the pits, I guess. But yeah, all in all, really fun. I would definitely say make sure you do go and like have a look around. I will link at the end of it, or like put in the description, all the details of ticket types we had and where that allowed us access, because one thing is it's not very clear where your ticket type actually allows you to go. So definitely go speak to some stewards about it. They will try and help you, but I think even they're confused because we've heard different responses from different stewards. So
So basically, we were told that our tickets wouldn't let us into a stand that other people in our party have been in today. So
Yeah, so we're not actually sure where the ticket allows us to go, but we will find out. We will find out. So, to be honest, if you're planning to have a little walk around the track, be warned, it's like a 45-minute journey from one end to another. So, like walking. And that's walking if you're, you know, a 21-year-old, you know? So, you know, be prepared for that. It's a lot of walking. There's a lot of like sound right now, so you can hear practice race 2. So yay for you. But we're currently trying to find inner track access. I am going to be honest, the signs here are actually quite bad. So be aware of that, because it is tiring. It's tiring, and half the time you have to turn around because they don't really signpost things like clearly in ways you recognise, so keep an eye out. It is day 2, if we count Thursday as day 0, and it's not going great. I will be honest, today's been a pretty bad day. We went for breakfast at the riding and it was flooded, so that was a good start. Probably an omen of what was going to happen. It is raining, it's been raining a lot today, and because of that, all the like grandstands, particularly the covered ones, are completely full. Quotation marks. Basically,
they say it's full, but I can see 3 seats.
We have roving tickets, which means that we can go into most grandstands apart from Abbey, Hamilton A, Wellington, and Beckett. So we're not going to those for obvious reasons. We won't get in. But the ones that we do have available, we cannot get into any of them because all the seats are filled. Which isn't really a good start. And this is also the ones that aren't covered as well. So we're finding it quite difficult to go and watch the F2 sprint. There's loud music. I'm going to stop right now. So yeah, we've gone down to a lot of the grandstands and been like, look, we have roving tickets. We've paid a lot of money to be here. Where are the seats? And we're not really getting anywhere. So we're now going to the fan zone so we can watch it at least on the big screens there, because we will not be watching it ourselves. I've spoken to a lot of staff because there are a couple of seats still available in the stands, but they're not letting people up. And their response is people are holding them because they've got the toilets, which I find a bit, you know, like odd, because they can be gone for 2 hours and still claim that seat, even though none of the seats are actually like reserved. So a bit of a weird technique, because I doubt every member of security can remember every face that's come down from the stands. So you can definitely lie your way up and say, oh, but like I've got someone holding my seat up there. But it's just pretty bad because they're not letting anyone really do anything, and you can tell that they're getting a bit fed up with us, but we're also all getting fed up with them. So it's not looking great right now.
From a customer service point of view, it's worth noting that they are being paid to be there,
Yeah.
and the customers have paid to be there. So it doesn't really matter if it's getting on their nerves. They're supposed to be accommodating for the customer. As somebody who's worked in a lot of customer service.
I also heard one of the race makers saying that first of all, he didn't think he was being paid enough for it, because I assume a lot of people are getting quite aggy. And he was like, the only reason we're all dealing with this is because we get 4-day access to the races. Which is like, that's great.
Well, that's great.
But so is everyone who's paid to be here. Yeah. So you can imagine why people are frustrated. And everyone's a bit damp and soggy. And so that's not great. So we're going to try and get into inner track, because that comes with our glamping package.
To be honest, a lot of the stewards have been quite incompetent. They've either told us conflicting things, or they've been aggy and like unclear. They're just not very good, especially we've done like Disney and Universal in America before, and you can't imagine having that treatment there. It's just not standard here.
Yeah. I mean, American Disney workers aren't paid a lot as well. As someone who's going to work for Universal over the summer, the pay wasn't extraordinary. And you know, they always give service with a smile, and I feel like we're really lacking that. But I suppose that's quite British of them, isn't it?
Yeah, Silverstone is not cheap, and you expect these sort of things to be reflected in the experience.
Yeah, and I think Silverstone is supposed to be like the 5th most expensive Formula 1 Grand Prix, so, you know, should have gone Monaco. But yeah, now we're walking through towards the main stage. Perhaps we might even be able to see one of the driver interviews if we're heading that way. But we're mainly going to inner track, see if they have any seats. If not, I don't know what we're going to do.
Literally any seats, anything.
Yeah.
It's been like an hour.
Yeah. So it's not great, it's not looking great, but you know, these things happen. Sometimes things don't go to plan, and I still think they're just as important to add to these videos because, well, you better know what you're getting your money for. It's probably also worth noting that because of the rain and the weather we've been having, the F3 sprint got cancelled, and delayed, I guess, from about 10:30 this morning to now 6 p.m. Because they couldn't get like out the pits basically, so it didn't even start, which is kind of crazy. I didn't really know that happened. You know, I've been quite used to like 15-20 minute delay, but I've never seen it delayed by several hours. But when Silverstone, the bandstand is going. How lovely. So we're just off the main stage, going towards Village. We've just passed sim racing, which, you know, looks pretty empty actually. We're only working one side. It is a lot busier on Saturday, although we're going to test our luck at Village and see if we can get through, because that will be a nice area that is not covered, which isn't overly a problem, I guess. Well, Village A isn't covered, so we're going to see if we can get in there. And then see what happens, you know. So there's a lot of things to do in this area. You can do some sim racing, or you can do a pit stop challenge and see if you can, you know, test your luck at that, or skill. There's also a blast lane, which I don't really know what it is. You can also get photos, like selfies with your favourite like team. So I don't know how much that is. I will check some prices. Apparently you get blasted in the blast lane. That's exciting. Really good place to dry off, I guess, if you go to a blast lane. But yeah, I think so. I think it's supposed to be like feeling the wind resistance or something. So, you know, if you need drying off, maybe see if you can withhold that resistance. I don't think I could. I think my neck would fully like snap off, but maybe I'll have a go later. If I get really soaked in the sand. So we managed to get into Village A, so we can watch whatever's left of the sprint now.
2 seconds clear into their
Find
New
some
Zealand, not just
seats.
which goes win. But Antonelli leading 10 places got to wait for a gap to be able to get that thing of the machine back on track. Might have stalled it, so he's stranded on the outside.
So, FD Sprint just finished. It was cool. Village is a really good spot in wet weather because, like, there's a lot of tight corners, so a lot of skidding. I think I actually recorded some content where you basically saw someone spin out and then has to get the car taken off. I'm not sure who. I'm not really up to date with that. He's not been listening. It's okay.
What was the question?
It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I might know the answer.
He was the guy that spun out.
Oh, I don't know who that was. Antonelli won the sprint.
Yeah.
It was a close one with Automato at the end.
Yeah, but I mean, it was really cool, really fun. I definitely recommend this area, particularly in wet weather. And we're going to stay here for the F1 qualies, so I'll record some stuff there. But yeah, we're glad that we have seats and that it's dry for now, so thank God. Now, this is what I call real racing. Love this. They're quite cute. They're so cute. Look at them. Enjoyable? Something to keep in mind if you are glamping is you do get inner track access, but they will at the inner track like ticketing bit, they will like fight you till you're blue in the face, so you're not supposed to be there, but like your wristband gives you entrance to it, whereas everything else is on like a ticket on your phone. So we had to be like, no, we're supposed to be here, we have this wristband.
I know this, by the way, because the rest of our party tried to get in using their tickets and wristbands, and they said no. They had to send them all the way to an information centre about half an hour away, to which they got to the centre and they were like, you should have been let in just on your wristband alone.
Yeah. So
and then they had to walk half an hour back just to get back in.
Yeah, so don't do the half an hour walk. Just argue that you're supposed to be there because of your wristband, and they will eventually have to let you in because you are supposed to be here. But yeah, keep that in mind.
Euro 2024. Here we go.
Come on.
It is race day, so we are heading to our reserve seats. On Sunday you have a set seat that you book. Today is sold out as well, so we are now heading to corner B for our seats, which is luckily a covered section because it's on and off raining today.
As every day.
As every day, but luckily right now it's only like spitting slightly, so that's okay. But yeah, I will show you the view from corner B. It's got some toilets right outside of here, which is great. And also it's just opposite some coffee shops and all of that, so that's quite nice. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really fun day today. Hopefully the weather clears up and improves a little bit for people who are in grandstands with no cover. That would be nice for them. But yeah, it's an exciting moment where we see our first start.
And Fittipaldi number 14 starting 20th. Thank you, Chris. Right, so soft, which will be much the quicker, but they won't last very long, Bob. Include Taylor Barnard and Robin Stanek when they are in place. The green flag now showed at the back means we're good to go racing. The lights will go red. 5 lights go red. The lights go out now. It is passed on. The good getaway there by Isaac Hadjar. Just the back needs to drop on everybody. It could start being made from further back. Oliver Behrman.
Absolutely, we've seen Kramer on the podium a couple of times in Formula 2 and Formula 3 this morning as well. And yesterday, of course, in
staying within those 5 seconds so that he can inherit the win, and Zane Maloney also good for the podium. He's been an up and down seat since then. He podiums and even as low as 20 on occasion. As Red One flies them down the team.
Day 3, we had Grand Prix, Hamilton won. First of all, look how pretty it looks here at the moment. We decided not to go to the concert tonight because A, it was absolutely packed by the main stage, and B, I was tired, so instead had a shower, grabbed some food. We went to one of the food stalls near the main stage, and that's how we knew it was really busy. But today's been really good. We obviously walked the track, which was super fun. Really cool to see it so up close and personal. And we, just had a really good final day. It feels like it's the end of this Grand Prix weekend. You know, there's a certain feeling in the air of like nostalgia for everyone, and a realization that perhaps this is all coming to a close. This Mercedes jumper, so good. It's so warm and lovely, and it's really kept me warm this entire weekend. So big up Mercedes for this jumper, although it was on the expensive side. So this will probably mark the end of this video, or I might do a final conclusive section tomorrow when I start my new job. Okay, so I'm filming this video a lot later than I intended to. I'm kind of in the process of editing, and a lot has happened since Silverstone. It's like a month since Silverstone when I'm recording this, and yeah, I had work, I was ill, a lot happened. Working on that. But looking back on Silverstone, like from now, it was such a good time. I feel really lucky that I got to go. It was an expensive trip, but it was worth it, I think. We also did like the entire weekend, which is so cool. Like having that triple Brit podium for like going into the the final race, and then having like the England team go into like the semi-finals. That was so cool. It was such a good day to be British in sport. Not right now though. Britain is struggling right now. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Seeing Lewis Hamilton win his home race, that was cool. That was so cool. I am typically team Mercedes. If I had to pick a team, I say wearing a McLaren top, but like it was great. It was such an unforgettable experience. Like the energy being there is so electric. It's like when you watch it, you know, with like friends, and then it's like that but amplified because everyone there is together, and it's a lot more polite to like different sports, which is quite nice. Although when there was like the Euros on, everyone was a little bit more like in that football headspace as opposed to their like F1 headspace. So that was fun. It was a really good weekend. Yeah, but I think, you know, the price that was paid for this trip was expensive. So the tents are like, and the ridings are £3,000. And I think looking back on it, a lot of it was let down by weather. So things like the restaurant flooding couldn't be controlled by the staff, but it did mean that service was a lot slower, and you kind of just feel a bit more miserable when everything's a little bit rainy. It did make for an interesting race, and that was cool. I did enjoy kind of the wet track, but it was harder to be like happy, and especially packing was a real like struggle because you were kind of, it was like only like 16 degrees, so you were cold as well, and it was windy. Like Silverstone is like notoriously blustery, and you felt it, and so you were constantly just like holding a hot drink, and your mood kind of depleted. But I think seeing those races were the highlights and the reason that you do this. Yeah, Silverstone apparently is one of the only Grand Prix where they like have this kind of festival section to it, which I think was really cool. Seeing Kings of Leon live was something that I didn't know was on my bucket list, but it's now ticked off. And, you know, going to the driver like interviews on the fan stage, that was fun. You know, you didn't have to be at the front of these things either. You could just kind of sit at the back and watch it all, and it was, I really enjoyed doing that. Whilst I've been looking over it and editing, I noticed I was really quite like harsh, I guess, towards the staff like and the stewards and the seating arrangements of this thing. There are two sides to it of like, you know, should you be able to reserve unreserved seating? I would argue probably not. The reason it's unreserved is that people shouldn't be able to reserve a seat. So if you leave, I think that should be your time there. Obviously there's the issue of like families and people with like mobility, but obviously mobility people have their own sections. And if you're planning that you just want you and your family to sit in one area or like and watch the races, maybe just get a reserved seat as opposed to going into the unreserved stands. But I don't know. I personally didn't enjoy the seat saving thing and how that kind of put everyone else on the back foot. If you weren't in and there were still seats available, you were told that you couldn't get in. which when it's raining you do get a bit frustrated by. I feel quite sorry for the stewards that were actually on the like gates and stuff, looking back on it, because obviously Tommy and I had the experience where we would be speaking to different stewards and they'd all be telling us very different things, and that's really frustrating as a fan going in, because you just want a straight answer, and knowing that I could go to 3 people standing next to each other and they'd all say something different is like infuriating, because you're paying, I mean, if you get a weekend ticket, it's something like £500 per person. That's a lot of money for a weekend. I actually don't blame the stewards at all for how that was handled. I think there was a lot of misconceptions going in that wasn't clearly conveyed to them, which I think, you know, I would like to see changed in a future year, that, you know, you could ask any member of staff in their steward vest a question and you would get the same answer, and they would be a lot more like responsive and helpful, which isn't their fault at all. Like, if they're, you know, they are paid members of staff, they will be doing their job as well as they can. Like, then like work needs aren't being met, then the outcome for the fans that are going aren't also going to be met as well. So that's maybe something I'd like to see changed, is the stewards that are there are well trained, they know what they're doing, they know where they're sending fans, and yeah, just that process being a little bit smoother. But that kind of goes in with the seats as well, and this like unreserved roving tickets, because they were kind of crazy. It would have been nice if like the seats were colour coordinated so fans could also see what they were allowed in, like on a map. And more signs just everywhere, because you could be walking for 15 minutes before you could actually find a map. Actually, I can only remember like 3 maps the entire time I was there, so that's not a lot. That's not a lot of coverage. This does mark the end of the video, and I'm really glad I got to go to Silverstone. I would really love to go to another Grand Prix, and hopefully in the future I will do. Fingers crossed, I'm trying to get the Silverstone next year, so I'm looking forward to it. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, thank you for watching if you got this far. I know this is like my first vlog and it's a bit all over the place, but I'm getting better. I will continue learning how to edit videos well. I will continue, you know, making sure I plan what kind of content I want to record and make it a lot more smoother for the people watching. My next couple of videos are probably going to be focused around my move to London, which is happening in like 3 weeks, so you know, there's a lot of prepping going on. You don't know, but behind this camera there is so much, like there's like a toaster, you know, there's everything going on behind you. But yeah, I'll probably do a bit of a video when I move in, and about how that process goes, and about my first week working in London as a corporate girly. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, or if you want to. Like, if you don't want to, that's chill. But yeah, thank you. Bye.